And here we are with another progression video. Looks like our snow come to fruition. Not much though, but we got a little bit of snow. Got wrinkles out here. He's loving it, he said. I just figured I'd walk around. I gotta do my 20-minute walk that I haven't done yet. But as you can see, we got snow. It's 33, I think. I think 36 is the high today, and then it's supposed to turn off colder for the next 3 or 4 days. It's supposed to sort of kind of warm up during the day, and then get cold at night, of course. On below. Uncle was like, get him, boy, get him. He's right there. You gotta get him. Well, we got our second snowfall of the year. Here the last, I know a little bit, I know. She's like, you have to protect me. Somebody attacked a little bit. Tore a big chunk of hair out of her side there. So I brought her in last night. Oh. Oops, sorry little bird, didn't mean to bother you. But yeah, we got pretty good snow. It's not too bad. Roads are clear. They called schools out for today, and I'm sure they'll probably call them out tomorrow. When the what do you call it? The roads freeze tonight. So, but like I said, supposed to have cold weather this week, and then I think it's supposed to have a gradual warm up again, and we'll see if we get any more snowfall and any more severe weather. I don't know if we will or not on that. Okay, she followed me around. She's like, please protect me from them dogs. What was that? Did you hear that? Hey, over here. So it's wet again, and ground's mushy. See down here, that lawnmower. Hey, over here, Bo. Come on. Don't get off or running off again on me. But anyways, that's what we're doing. Or what I'm doing. I was out here doing my 20-minute walk. Let's see if I can show you that big patch missing out of her side. What? He said, I'm 100,000% sure that it's cold out here. Yeah, you can see it right there. Oh, you got food over there, girl. You got water. She said, I want to go inside. It's cold. Oh my gosh. It's wrinkles again. There's Delilah. But we'll see what kind of, usually I think, I'm trying to think, last year we had one snowfall, and I think the year before that we had one snowfall. I mean, sometimes we'll get, you know, two. Excuse me. We sort of live in the foothills of the Smokies, so come on, Delilah, this way. This way, girl. But we live in the foothills of the Smokies, so we don't. Jesus, I'm injured. Help me. But we don't get a lot of snow compared to Knoxville and what do you call it? Points northward. You know, the plateau, of course. We're in that horseshoe, which when we have winter storms, usually within that horseshoe you have the plateau, northeast or north, middle, northeast. From Knoxville, point northward, from Knoxville all the way along the plateau. And Bo, this way. Let's see. If you ever look at a winter storm, Delilah, come on. Warning in our area. Usually you'll see the horseshoe, the plateau and north middle Tennessee along the Smoky Mountains. We're within that area where we're not in winter storm warnings, watches. So we don't really get a lot of snow. I know when I was younger, we used to get snow just about every year. Make sure Delilah made it back in the yard. I don't see her. I have to go back and find her. But I know when I was younger, like I said, you know, it wasn't December usually. It was usually January, February, and early March. We would get, Delilah, over here. We would get snowstorms. And then over time, that slowly faded. Come on. Over this way. Right through the mud hole. Come on. What is it, a little bit? You got food, girl. She said it's cold out here. But we've had Bo. We ain't had that many snowstorms here since I'm trying to think, 2000. Well, it had to be, you know, when I was a teenager, right before I graduated high school. I mean, I can remember December being in the 70s and January, February, you know. Now, when I moved back from Missouri in 07, I can remember us having a terrible ice storm and snow. And we had, I just went on a little adventure. And I remember it being, I think that was in 2009, might have been 2010. We had like 2 weeks of well below zero temperatures. I mean, it was frozen solid. I think over here, of course you can't tell it now, but right in there was a pond that we had pulled the satellite, where they had cemented the satellite in. We had a huge one of them big metal satellites way back in the day, and we pulled it out 2008, 2009, something like that. We put it in a pond, put in goldfish in there, and whenever it got cold, that 2 weeks, that pond froze solid with them goldfish in it. Well, the goldfish, they froze with it. Come on, this way. So they froze with it. And, you know, I seen that in Missouri. It was cold one year. We went down to Billy and Sharon. Come on, Delilah, over this way. We went over to Billy and Sharon's, which was, I think, Crystal's cousin and his wife. And he had some goldfish. When he was walking in the door, he had a little pond right beside the house. And they had goldfish in it. It was frozen solid. And I'm like, is that goldfish in there real? He's like, yeah, goldfish freezes, you know, this is no problem there. Huh. Did not know that. So, that was something that I do remember, is it freezing solid. And it was, like I said, it was about 2 weeks consecutively below zero. It was cold. Delilah, over this way. Come on. Come on. Come on, Delilah. Delilah, let's go. Over here. But she was, we had freezing temperatures, but I think we had an ice storm that year. I remember. And then every year it's gotten a lot warmer. And a lot of people say, well, it's global warming, you know. No, I think that the earth goes through climatological, something like that. Changes, and it's not global warming. Ain't got nothing to do with that. I think that's a load of crap. A lot of people would believe in it, but I don't. Because, yeah, like the winters sometimes are warmer. And people say, well, that's global warming. Well, no. Like I said, I think the earth goes through changes because back in the day when dinosaurs were around, they had, most places were tropical places. And then it had a ice age. And we're just now coming out of the first ice age. And it'll go back to being a tropical land. And then it'll once again be having probably another ice age. You know, it happens, it does. And see, nobody was alive that can record history that says, what do you call it? They could say, yeah, this is exactly how the weather was a couple of 100,000 years ago, or, you know, even 1 million years ago. Because if you look, and I wish I can find it, but I can't. It's on TikTok. It's a video of all the historic tornado outbreaks from the 1800s all the way up. And, you know, they said that the tornado alley is shifting east out of the plains into the southeast. And that's absolutely not true. If you look at that, of the historical tornado outbreaks from the 1800s all the way till now, every year, January, February, March, April, and sometimes in June, July, and sometimes in November, that the southeast has always had, you know, tornado outbreaks like that. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, all them places has had historical outbreaks like that throughout history. It ain't changed none. It's still the same place. It's still the same thing. A lot of people sit around going, well, this is historical. Not everything is historical. Just like the 2011 super outbreak. Now, a lot of people refer back to that. I do too. That was, it happens every 35 to 40 years. There was one in, when was it? The 1884 Enigma outbreak, the 1932 Deep South super outbreak. Well, it was an outbreak. When was it? Wrinkles, was that you? The 1974 super outbreak. That's the only time they really started calling it a super outbreak. But they did have over 100 and something tornadoes. Let's see. The 2011 happens about every 35 to 40 years. It's not like it happens, you know, it does happen, but it's called a generational. I'm waiting for my body to quit all this crap. It happens every 35 to 40 years. They call it a generational outbreak. It happens every, you know, I guess what they generations. But there's people that is alive during the Enigma, or I'm sorry, the 32 outbreak, and they were interviewed in 2014, right after the 2011 outbreak. So they were alive through 32, 74, and the 2011 super outbreak. So they've had all them outbreaks. You know, it ain't like that it's, what do you call it? It doesn't happen, or it's a rare event. It's not. People just make it like a rare event because they want to be a part of something. You know, I was a part of that. You know, they can say years later, I was a part of that. Yeah, I was there during that. Well, it's not, it don't make you special or nothing. It's just that you were part of it. A lot of them people in the 74, the 32, you know, was part of that outbreak too, and they were there. Are they any historical? No, they're just interviewed once, remembered, and that's about it. The outbreak is more remembered than they are. The only reason they are interviewed is because they just happen to be alive at that time. That's it. You know, just like now, the 2011 outbreak, I was alive during that. Does that make me any more special? No. You know, my area wasn't the hardest hit. The one thing about the 2011 is it was the most recorded outbreak because it had, what was it? I'm trying to think how many hours, a little bit, how many hours of footage plus everybody else recording it. Plus they had the records from the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center of the atmospheric conditions. They didn't have all that back in 74, back in 32, you know, back in 1884. You know, they didn't have any of that stuff. You know, so tornado outbreaks, tornadoes are not getting worse. There's more people covering more rural areas where they can report them. Technology is getting better too detect them, and it's not meaning there's more, it's just meaning there's better ways of detecting them and people to report them. Come on, Bo. You know, so that's all it is. So it don't mean nothing special, and it ain't no rare event. It's just the same every year. You know, it should be like Tornado Alley back there in Oklahoma, Kansas, you know, places like that. Which if you look at different graphics of that, that changes. If you look at one graphic to the next, one of them's Missouri's in it, one of them's Missouri's not. Missouri's in it, Missouri's not. Just like Dixie Alley. You know, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, East Texas, Middle Tennessee is in it, and sometimes East Tennessee's in it, sometimes it's not, you know. So there's no real defined area of where it's at. But there is, what do you call it? Anyway, I got off on another subject. I was talking about the snow today. We'll see what happens. I know it's supposed to get super cold. So you can see how it looks. It's a pretty thin winter wonderland. So, but anyway, I figured I'd make a progression video on this one. You know, because it's our second snowfall of the year. So, and we'll see from later on. Looks like it's about ready to end and just turn off cold. So, but anyway, I'm fixing to go in and enjoy playing video games or something. And I'll probably see you in the next video.